Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? Happy Friday. It's a new day. The Lord has blessed us to see a new day. Y'all, I don't know who I'm looking like, but excuse me, child. Because, child, the popo thing, they slid, child, they is sitting off up in the cut, in somebody's yard of a cut, child. But anywho, I don't know who I'm looking like. But just roll with it, y'all, because I'm rolled out the bed. Okay? But I just wanted to come and give y'all the next portion of the video from yesterday, which was my testimony. And today, I'm here to tell y'all what's wrong. Okay, so I told y'all that I went to the hospital and piddle and everything. I was in there for 4 days and I had to stay for 4 days. Well, I knew in a way what was wrong with me because it was the same feeling from back in September. If y'all remember of last year, I think that's what it was. Back in September of last year, I was having pains. Y'all remember back then I was having problems. Now some of y'all that was, leaving comments and stuff like that, was saying what my problem was. Y'all really didn't know because I guess, I don't know what made y'all say what it was. I guess because you have the same problem, right? So that's why you said that, right? And so you were right. I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to tell you were right. I didn't want to, put my situation out there. I just felt like it just wasn't a time. I tell when I want to tell, not when somebody else want me to tell. And not because somebody else think that they need to know when it's none of their business, because at the end of the day, you have to be sensitive to these people, these content creators, and know that everything isn't for the internet. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever a person feel comfortable enough to put it out there, let them do that at their own pace, their own time, not when you feel like you want to be nosy in somebody else's business to know what's going on in their life. With all that being said, back in September last year, I went into the hospital because I was just having pains. Like, it just came out of nowhere. Just all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it just hit me. It just hit me, and so I went to the hospital. I was in pain so much, y'all, I couldn't even bear the pain because it was just that bad. So, and I have a high tolerance for pain, y'all, because I try not to take medication if I don't have to, but I'm not editing this video, y'all, so y'all know how I do. I'm gonna have to secure my location, but I'm on my way picking up my mama and stuff, so I got to secure my location or whatever. So I'm not editing, but let me put it down real quick, y'all, because I just want to be safe, y'all. So when I went to the hospital, they told me, they was asking out, they're gonna ask all the questions and stuff like that, blah blah blah, all that. Well, come to find out, I got diverticulitis, y'all. And diverticulitis is in your colon. And just imagine what a octopus legs look like. You know how I got the little suctions on it? So just imagine just a portion of your intestines having those little suctions on it, right? But those suctions is like a hole. It might not be a deep hole. It may not be a deep hole, but it's a hole. Those little suctions is grabbing the food as it goes down through the intestines, breaking down and stuff. And so they grabbing your food. Mama, how so cute. But they grabbing the food that doesn't break down and holding on to them. And as it holds on to it, it's just a little portion of your intestine that's like that. Now, I don't know if it could get worse and spread throughout, but mine is just a portion, right? So just imagine it holding on to that food that doesn't break down, like corn, nuts, beef, and all kind of stuff like that doesn't break down as good, and it's just gonna sit in those little holes. And as it sit, it's going to start just imagine it just rotting. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting in there. It's just rotting. So now it's causing infection. And as the infection flares up, it's starting your stomach to get inflamed. And you have to go to the hospital for it because it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And also it causes constipation and all that stuff like that, right? It causes a lot of problems. Well, that's the problem, y'all. And so when they diagnosed me with, I'm like, how did I get something like that? But this particular time I found out that diverticulitis, they say that it could be a hereditary thing or whatever, but it just happens. Like, it just happens. It just happens. And so that's how it happened. It just happened. And so now this particular time I'm going to the hospital, my pains was feeling the same. And I'm like, I know it got to be that diverticulitis because my stomach is hurting in the same spot. Them pains feeling about the same. And I felt when it was coming on, but I didn't know if I was about to start having menstrual cramps or, I'm on video, menstrual cramps, or I didn't know, like, if my stomach was about to act up. I didn't know what was going on. So I really didn't pay it much attention at first because it wasn't bad. But then as the week went on, it started getting worse. So I was really in pain for like maybe 4 or 5 days before I actually went to the hospital. So when I went to the hospital this time, they took me in, they did the test, they did the CAT scan, all that stuff like that. And then the doctor, he was like, you was right. It's your diverticulitis flared up. But, sorry. Oh, you are. But that's Mama, y'all.
Yeah. Good morning.
So, but this particular time is a little bit different because one of those little suction cups has a little micro hole in it. And just imagine taking like a little needle, you blow up a balloon, and that's how they explained it to me, like a portion of my intestine this time was kind of like blown out like a balloon, right? This your intestine, right? This your intestine, but then it's blown out with a little balloon on it, looking like a little titty or whatever. And at the tip, you know how sometimes when you blow up balloons, the balloon have like a little nipple on the tip of it? Okay, just imagine that portion of my stomach looking like that, and it got like a little pin, like you took a needle and just stuck it. You ain't gonna know that hole is in there, and you could blow that balloon up full, but then eventually you'll notice it start leaking out the air. Okay, so that's how my stomach is. It have a little bitty micro hole in it, and I don't know how that happened, but it has a micro hole in it. And so they was afraid that by having that micro hole, the poop, I'm gonna just go on and put it the way it need to be put, because they were saying other words that I ain't even know what it mean. And when I broke it down to him from my understanding, he was like, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, use those words that we gonna know. Stop using y'all educational words is what I want to tell them. You stop using y'all school words y'all done learned. Use words that people gonna understand. And so basically, they afraid that by me having that micro hole, my poop can be squeezing out of that hole and getting into my body, and it's gonna infect my body. Now y'all know what poop can do to your body. You know, you get infection and you know, infection can kill you. Okay, so push y'all back up. So now I'm in there. They want to monitor me because they supposed to be monitoring this hole to make sure that it's not getting any bigger, nothing's coming out of it, nothing like that. That's why I was upset when they wanted to send me home and didn't check to see if this hole had closed up, or with these medications that they was giving me, whether or not it was helping to resolve that problem. You know, I was supposed to be in here for observation, so that's what I need for y'all to do, is observe and watch and make sure that my problem is trying to get better. Trying to get better, you know. Okay, so they were saying that it was looking like it was starting to resolve itself, but by me taking the antibiotics and being on the pain medication, the antibiotics is the medicine to help heal it. So I'm praying that, you know, with this continued medication, taking this medication, I'm going to be able to recover from this. It close up, you know. God is in control of it all, regardless of what they give me, but God is in control of it all. And so I'm just praying that it close up and I get better. Now, they put me on these meds for 2 weeks. I have a follow-up. They want me to have colonoscopy, you know, all that stuff like that. All that costs money. I have to look at, we ain't even finna go into that part right now. But yeah, so that's my situation, y'all. That's my situation. Now, let's talk about the video from yesterday, where I was giving my testimony. A lot of people was mentioning, you know, I was in the, you know, I'm going to the hospital. I ended up going to the hospital. I'm worrying about grandma having somebody to see about her and stuff like that. But some people was worried about, have you tried getting grandma on the program where she can have basically a nurse to come out to the house and see about her, you know, and stuff like that, give you break and all this and that. Well, yes and no. The reason why I say, let's address the yes first. First of all, yes, because I have looked into it. I have researched everything. All, you know, I know all about getting that portion done, to try to get her a nurse to come in to see about her, do, you know, things that she needs done for her. You know how the nurse aides come in, they might clean them up, they might clean up their areas, you know, different little stuff like that. We done had that service before, but I canceled that service way back when, a couple years ago, because at that time I really didn't need it. So now that I need it, you know, you have to get approved through the insurance, through the doctors and all that stuff like that. All right, grandma qualifies for it, but it's the insurance. I didn't know her insurance was so bad. I really thought she had a good insurance, because as long as they paying for medications, paying for her going to the hospital, paying for doctor visits, paying for all that stuff like that, you know, you in the good. You think that that's all you really need. You never really thinking about later on, if a person have a heart attack, if a person have a stroke, or if they need anything like that, you know, other stuff, like anything like you know, I'm just naming just some of the few. You know, if it's anything major, if you need someone to come into the home and stuff like that, as far as, like I said, the nurse aide and stuff like that, if you need someone to come in the home and do that, see, that's the type of stuff that they don't want to pay for. They want to look good by doing the bare minimum to them. That doctor visits, paying for medications and stuff like that, to me is to me it seems like that is their bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know that that's some stuff that they already got to pay for. So now when you start needing all this extra help and care and assistance and stuff like that, that's the stuff that they don't want to pay for. So we having a hard time trying to get her the nurse that she needs to come out to the house and stuff like that, because they don't want to pay for it. And if they do approve it, they only want to approve for her to have only one day. When if you're gonna send somebody out to help a family member or family, you need to be sending them out more than one day. Give them 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? But they're not trying to pay for that. So yeah, so that's the problem. They just don't want to pay for it, and we trying to. I don't know if I'm gonna have to switch her insurance so stuff can get paid for, or whatever. But I'm in the process of doing all of that. So that, to answer y'all question, that's why. That is why I didn't have the nurse that y'all thought that we should have had in the home while I needed them. That's exactly why. So I have another part to this video. Not this video, but I have another story that I need to tell y'all, which is going to lead y'all up to what I got going on today. So until the next video, y'all, I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for y'all prayers. I thank y'all for y'all concerns. I thank y'all for everything. I hope I answered some questions. I hope y'all, kind of like it done filled in those questions that some of y'all may have had about, what I had going on, why I was in the hospital, why grandma couldn't get nobody help there. And yeah, and like y'all said, her children need to be ashamed of themselves. They do. They need to be ashamed of themselves. And I don't feel, at this point right now, I don't even feel no sympathy for them, because they need somebody to talk about them. They do. Because it's a shame. I don't want to just sit here and make every video about them, because I'm not. But somebody probably should have need to tell them about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because it just don't make no sense. But yeah. So until the next video, y'all. Here go mama. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.